like non-security leadership is interested in the broader picture. And they're no longer just interested in what's going on in the organization, but they want to contextualize it amongst what's going on in the rest of the world.
There's a lot of ways to look at this one, and I love this trend. Just to be very clear that neither of the first two things were metrics or quantitative statements. Right? They really are, let's tell you what the risk is and put that in the greater context, as you point out. Like, this isn't just we have a problem, it's we have a problem, and there are adversaries who like to exploit that problem. So it's really connecting those dots. So we're doing this after SolarWinds, and I actually think that a lot of people miss this opportunity. I don't think we talk enough about the third-party risk and the way that our companies are all run in unified communication systems. And all somebody has to do is compromise one of those, and they get anything they want done. There's no ticketing, there's no authentication after that one first step in. And so I think it's really important that CISOs are having that conversation. We say, here's what the adversaries like to do. Here's what they're capable of doing. Educate your business partners. Because every executive is smart and is competent, hopefully at least at their job, but they're sort of omnicompetent. They're good at a lot of things. And we need to get out of the mindset of security is something that is worried about by the security team. And they come down from on high with the tablets that say, like, here's the 5 things we have to get done, just believe us. Instead, you should come down and say, here's what I think we need to get done and here's why. And you should have to justify that just like other teams justify it. And so if you'd like to justify it, the most important thing is to educate the people who you have to convince.
We're going to get back to justifications
Excellent.
In a bit. But the next question that I want to ask you is, how are CISOs measuring the effectiveness of their cybersecurity programs? I know how you feel about this question. The top response is incident and breach trends.
Yes.
Is that surprising?
That is not at all surprising
Not
to
really.
me.
No.
And in fact, I like that one. I'm actually happy that that one's near the top. Although it has some really negative downside effects.
Why is that?
Because if you say that we are going to report our efficacy as, say, number of severity 1 incidents we have. If you have an incident that is now right on the boundary of severity 1 and severity 2, what is your incentive? If you're measured on how many severity 1 incidents there are, that's now a severity 2 incident instead. And so many companies have had that as soon as you're reporting on your efficacy, right, you can expect what you inspect, and that goes 2 different ways. Right? If I'm going to measure you on your job performance and say, like, here's your OKR, like, how many pieces of content have you written this quarter? You're incentivized to write more pieces of content. It doesn't mean more content. You might say, oh, I have this one piece, let me turn it into 5. Right? Now it's 5 paragraphs instead of 1 coherent piece, but I get more of what I'm inspecting. But if I'm going to measure you negatively, then you're going to do the exact opposite. You're going to say, how do I downgrade these things? So I like that we're talking about an outcome, but it's a challenge because, in a sense, the people who are responsible, we as CISOs, are being continuously pressured to underreport. And odds are, our boss, if we don't report directly to the CEO, also being measured on this, they're going to want us to underreport as well. So I love seeing that right at the top of the list, but there's a cautionary note that we should be concerned that because those are arbitrary ratings, there's going to be pressure to tamper with them.